Hey YouTube, Mentored1 here with another installment of the Darwin Pond creature feature. In this episode I'm going to show you a creature one of my favorite ones. I don't remember if this was a result of natural evolution, like me just running through ponds and picking the survivors, or I don't remember tinkering with this one, but it was one of my favorites, and it actually was one of the rare ones that held out a long time against that parasite that I keep mentioning, which you'll see shortly, I'm sure, in the Darwin Pond show. But yeah, very efficient swimming motion, and I call it the FireRower. The name was obviously because it's got fire coloration on it, and it rows very, very efficiently. I'll show you here shortly, but it just reduces drag while using both limbs to push itself. So without further stalling, show you the FireRower. And its turning motion is awkward. That was its Achilles heel. But when it gets going on a straight course, it's impressive. And it does turn itself around completely. It just takes longer than some of the other creatures do. You can see it right there. See how it pushes its legs through its body so it doesn't get the drag because the top limbs are preventing it from being pushed backwards. You know, think fluid dynamics, right? The water's pushing along the sides here, so when it pulls its limbs inside its body like that, it's not getting any drag like the previous creature feature I showed you by Arachna. Because it was folding it on the outside, it was pushing back against the medium. The FireRower does not. And you can see it's got a quick motion too, so look at this guy right here moving. Like a breaststroke, you know, just efficient. Even in the tips of it too, if you can see it, it sort of bends that yellow part down when it gets over the top. You can see it well right there. And on a slow turn like that curving turn, you see how fluid that was, like right there, when it's using one limb and it's just pulling itself? When it turns around 360, yeah, it takes a while. I already got a color mutation in there. Oh, there's another motion mutation. You don't want to breed with him, dude. You don't breed with the mutants. It's not a good idea. I mean, look at the speed they get moving, too. It's impressive. Yeah, because when they turn completely around, they get all mixed up, and it takes them a few seconds. But when you see the turns to the left or the right that are sort of the smooth turns like this, these things are incredibly quick. See, like that guy's trying to turn around right now, and he's getting all hung up. I'm trying to find a good example of somebody just taking a smooth turn here. This guy might, yeah. He's looking for a mate. There he goes. And he's still using both limbs. And I think he's just pushing more with the one side than he is with the other. And then when they got to turn completely around, they get all screwed up. Another mutant over here. See, advantage I've noticed with creatures that have less moving parts. You see less of this. Yeah, I do like these guys. And you can see they do pretty well with, I mean, look at the population already. Yeah, these guys compete well. These might be one of the better ones in terms of the ones I have in my library that are able to compete with other species effectively. I've used them in quite a few ponds. They still can't outlast the fireworm, though. And yes, I am building it up in these shows. I mean, it's the nerd in me. I can't help it. Trying to set it up as like the arch nemesis of the show. Got to do something. I mean, it's a artificial life simulation. How am I going to generate excitement? Yeah, you can see they're breeding very quickly, especially now that they're spreading out. and you got them going in all directions. It's another facet of some species that I don't know if it's part of their DNA or not, but some of them seem to spread out more like this. Some seem to stay in clusters like this. You see others wander a lot. But the FireRower. Most of the color speciation seems to be consistent. There's a few off colors, but for the most part they're maintaining their racial identity, if I can use that term. Got some funky colors popping up here and there. Poor bastard. Whew. I mean, look at that motion. They even, like the yellow tips, as I was saying earlier, they not only do they flare them out when they pull down, but when they go in, you can see they tuck them inside right away. So they angle them down to thrust out. You can see it here pretty well. See how they bend the yellow tip down, and then they just kind of fold it up and in as a continuation almost of that motion. You know, not wasting no drag, not wasting a lot of energy on that. That's just neat to watch. I get zoned out there every once in a while. My bad. Whoa. Maximum local population already, 400. Well, you're gonna have all these die off. So they hit the population cap rapidly, and you can see how much food is still left. That says a lot about the efficiency of motion for these creatures, that they're not burning and not requiring as much energy as that Birachna was, or even some of the species we're seeing in the Darwin Pond show at this point. Alright, so with the FireRower, I don't know if I already mentioned it. If I did, you know, that's what happens when you do drugs. No, I can't say that on YouTube, can I? Of course I can. Yeah, so FireRower, I will leave the DNA file in the description box with a brief instruction on how to load it into Darwin Pond. You can also get the DNA file for Birachna from the last creature feature I did. If you want to try combining those in a pond, see what happens, mix them with your own. Again, if you come up with anything, specifically if you use anything with FireRower and you create any new species as a result of using this, please share it. If you have anything you'd like to, you know, see, maybe I'll do an episode on hybridizing. If you guys come up with anything, share it with me. If you want to see it in the pond with a certain other creature, give me the suggestion. I'll make a little creature feature hybrid of yours and something that you've seen that you want to see what happens when they're combined. You know, I'm open to all that stuff. Make it your show too if you're nerdy enough to be watching. So thanks for watching this creature feature on the FireRower, and I will be putting out some new episodes soon. Take care, guys.